tell people about it. That was so freaking weird. I am going to be attending my friend's fashion exhibition, and so I decided to tell a story of a recent occurrence while I prepare. Actually, y'all, I don't know if I want to tell this story because people might be like, oh, who cares? But come on, people go through these things and are afraid to speak up because they feel like, what will people say about it? You know how people go missing online and people are like, where did she go to? Which person did she go to meet? And shit like that. Come on, you guys forget that there are perverted people out there. Do you get what I'm saying? So regardless, I just hope you enjoyed this video because at the end of the day, the story had to be told. I was going to school one day. I had an 8 o'clock class, and you know how stressful 8 o'clock class can be. Like, most persons don't even like to attend 8 o'clock classes because, I don't know, I'm part of those persons. But I try so hard. This is my finals. Trying to not miss any class, but we just don't like attending 8 o'clock classes. I don't know why they still fix classes for 8. There needs to be a petition against 8 o'clock classes for real. It's not like I've been missing classes. I'm a serious student. It's not like I've been missing classes though. Whatever. It feels weird talking to the camera actually. There's no one here, I'm just telling a story. A story that people might not find necessary. But then it had to be heard, right? Anyways, I had to rush for this class here. Even though I could attend an 8 o'clock class that early because I do attend 8 o'clock classes, but I did be entering the class by freaking 8:50. That's 10 minutes to 9. But on this day, I left my house early. I left my house by 8. This is not the early. I left my house by 8 and then I got to school by 8:20 because my house is not far from school. I hailed a cab and then there were people at the back, so I just had to enter the front. And I'm late already, so I'm just like, whatever. Let me sit at the front. While we were going, oh my God, it's crazy. I look crazy now, but I'll be fine, trust me. Someone else boarded the cab too, and so I had to adjust because I was at the front seat. You know, passenger princess doesn't apply to public transport. So I wasn't being a passenger princess, I was just rushing to class. After she boarded the cab, I got closer to the driver and he was driving. While he was driving, I felt a hand close to me. He literally looked so creepy doing that. Like, nigga, why are you being creepy? He does something like this. Like, trying to touch my body. And I'm like, ew, like, just freaking showered. Stop freaking touching me. But I thought I was tripping, so I didn't want to just cause a scene because I hate public display of stupidity. So in my head is like, Dara, don't cause a scene, don't create a scene. Just chill, maybe you're tripping. And that was how I chilled. I just looked at him and I moved my eyes. 5 minutes, not 5 minutes, because the journey was not that long. So not 5 minutes, but in a couple seconds later, like he was so impatient. A couple seconds later, he touched me again. And I'm like, okay, now this guy freaking touched me. And I just called him a guy. This is a man, kind of man that you call daddy. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, I'm not trying to sound sexual right now, but there are some elderly men that you'd see and you'd be like, daddy, good afternoon, shit like that. Do you get what I'm saying? So why are you being perverted? Like, I know I'm an adult, but why are you being a pedophile? Do you get what I'm saying? And I'm a stranger. You don't even freaking know me. What if I'm a ghost? Like, what is even wrong with these people? You know the way you dress to school? You know how you dress to school. I wore a gown, knee length, and so when I sat down, it was somewhere. I don't even see my thighs, but it was somewhere here. I'm trying to rush. Yeah, I don't know if you noticed that I noticed he was touching me, and I mean, even if you did notice, if you know I was uncomfortable, so I don't know if he was trying to make me know that okay, I'm touching you. I don't know if he expected me to enjoy that. Like, that was disgusting. First off, the next thing, he literally touched my thighs. When I say he touched my thighs, I'm not saying he brushed my thighs. I'm saying he groped my thighs, you guys. What? Oh, in my head is ringing, don't cause a scene, don't cause a scene. I think why I didn't even cause a scene was because first off, it's not in me to cause a scene, and secondly, what if people just see me as a crazy person? There's no even video evidence, and most ones are like, but you know, raping, I not be touched. Come on, people would say that. You know those places, the park where you go to board a cab. But I've said board, I've said a hill. Which one am I using? You know how those guys can be anyways. And so I was disgusted, I wouldn't even lie. He groped my thighs. He literally, do you know what's more creepy? Do you know what makes it more creepy and crazy? It's because Couple days earlier, my friend called me and told me how she tried to hail a bus, and as she opened the bus, the guy was literally wanking. There was nobody in the bus. She just tried to enter the front seat so she can go get something at the market, and then the guy was, oh my god, and then he looked at her and smiled like this creepy ass smile. And as she entered the car and saw it, she just jumped out back. Then she called me ASAP. She narrated the story, and I was like, oh, that's crazy. This is like a couple days later, and this happened to me. I didn't know there were these creepy ass people out there. This guy literally took my gown up and groped my thighs. You know how if I'm groping it at this side here, I'll just hold you like this. This is not a brush. This is, you're at this side driving, I'm sitting here, and so you literally turn your right hands this way to grope my thigh. You took my gowns up and groped my thigh. Like, that's weird. That's freaking weird. And I didn't even notice him taking my gown up because it's this elastic gown. So you have these things like, I don't know if you can see the end of this thing. It's like rope. Maybe it's the rope touching my thighs. I don't know why. My mind did not go there. The fact that he took my gowns up, and the next thing, I'm feeling a freaking hand on my thigh. I just shouted, "Are you okay?" That was the only thing I could say at that time. I was surprised. That never happened to me before. Are you okay? No, I didn't sound this nice actually. You know the crazy thing? People were inside that car with me. There were people, I don't blame them though. I'm not saying they should have stood up for me and shit like that. But there were people inside the car, and I think they saw what was going on and decided not to talk. But I wouldn't, I don't know what to say. I don't want to say they didn't stand up for me, especially when I shouted at him. I felt like maybe they should have just been like, but okay, why did they touch her and shit like that? But I'm like, if people that were inside the car with me could not even say shit, if I caused a scene, I would look like the mad person. And so I just came down. Imagine I was alone inside the car, like just me. You know how you can enter a cab and it's empty, just you and the driver. That would have been at the back seat, but just imagine that I didn't think about, okay, let me stay at the back. I just decided to stay at the front, and it's just me and him in the cab. I've been doing one thing over and over. Okay, let me rush this makeup up. I think doing two things at the same time is not working because it's making me slow. So see you in a minute. I got to class by 8:20 that day, and of course I'm safe. He lost my respect, obviously. He looks freaking weird and creepy doing that. Anybody could get kidnapped. If I could have seen that incident, if I could have been through that incident, and my friend just a couple days back to after I went through what I went through, or after that incident happened, I don't want to say like went through like I'm having one kind of mental breakdown, but it was creepy. That's a fact. Then imagine people that get kidnapped. Imagine how it feels. You get what I'm saying? You got kidnapped and they're trying to look for you, and some people are out there saying we should go meet, blah 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 blah. Most persons won't even buy your story. Everybody, you know how the curse words from most Nigerian guys, especially those people, those places where you board cabs, that their park and whatever, their next word after, if they want to insult you, they're calling you and you're not answering. The next thing is Ashao. That's their word. Imagine I was this naive child. It didn't traumatize me per se, because I felt like I handled it well by just avoiding more trouble. Because that was harassment. It's like, nigga, why are you harassing me? Do you get what I'm saying? So it made me imagine people that go through these things, especially when it's family, your dad, your uncle, one family friend that your parents trust. People are perverted. Bro, I'm not a mom, and so if I were to have a younger sibling, you guys know my younger sibling is obviously bigger than I am, and I also talk to her like my younger sister. But if y'all to have those young siblings, I feel like you shouldn't trust them with any meal. I don't care. Don't trust them with any meal. I don't want to sound like I'm advising anybody. I'm just telling my part of the story. But I feel like, bruh, if you don't have a nanny taking care of your child, you can't even trust them with nobody at the end of the day. Or you be with your children, but if you're busy, don't trust them with one uncle. Like, no. I have an aunt that went through the same thing, but I'm not here to talk about my family members and my friends. But this creepy shit keep happening. Do you get what I'm saying? People are going through these things on a daily basis. Imagine I felt so irritated. Imagine it's someone you trust doing that to you. That would be so crazy. That would be traumatizing. You won't even know who to trust anymore. Most persons are going to see this story here because I didn't even tell anybody about it. I just told my siblings and my friend. Obviously, who else will I tell if not them? As humans, we should do better. This video is just a reminder for you to actually stand up for someone today, especially when you see the person is in need of help, because the person might want to do something, but is probably scared. So who knows? You might be a hero in someone's story. I've been doing more of natural look recently. I think I'm killing it though. I don't know what it's giving. It's giving whatever it's giving. Maybe it's a sign I'll soon be in my rich auntie era. Rich auntie vibes. Oof, I can't wait. What do I mean I can't wait? Ah! Oh my god! I need to stop talking. Okay, guys, I need to stop talking. Most persons would have gone through one harassment or the other growing up, and so if the were to have been in my shoes that day, it would ring a bell. It would be very traumatizing, and so we should just always try to make people feel safe. At least that's the least we could do as humans. I'm done and about to step out right now, but I just came to tell a moral lesson. And I'm not even about to say do not use public transport, because at the end of the day, we're all in the same shoes. And if we had a private car, we would not want to use public transport except when necessary. And you just don't always want to book a ride because it's not always necessary. But I'd say that we should pray because it's God that is saving everybody at the end of the day. We should also be guarded and on alert because the world is a beautiful, fun place to be, as much as there are lots of weird happenings. So stay safe out there. I love you. Yeah.